This is just a small tutorial just to show how I pick up the stitches on for the neckband of a cardigan or sweater, especially for jean. So I'll blow this up so you can see a little bit better. I have my ball of wool here and I am using 3.75 needle because that's the size I've done the band, the bottom bands and the cuffs on. And I knit the rest of the cardigan on 4.5 because of it being a garter type stitch. Sometimes it's better to use a larger needle. So I'm going to start with the right front. I think that's the right front. I'll put it on. Yes, that's the right front. I have to check. And I'm going to pick up the stitches. These are the cast off stitches where you cast your stitches up. And as you can see, they have like a V shape. When I pick the stitches up, I'm just showing this an example. If you pick up just one side of the V, if I can get my needle into it, pick up one side of the V like that, you tend to get a hole underneath. So I go through both sides of the V so you don't get that hole. So I will start with, I'll find where the first stitch is. Then as you can see, I've picked up both sides of the V. That's my first stitch. So I'm going to pick up each of those stitches that I cast on exactly the same through the V there like that, the whole V. And find which is the working part. I have 4, I'm not sure how many I cast on, I'll just work across. That's 5, 6, 7, that's all I've cast off, I think now, 7 stitches. I've cast off the cast off stitches there for the neckband. Now I'm coming to the next part here, and as you can see there's a hole there. So I'm not going through there like that. I might go through that part there like that, the next part of the stitch. I'm picking up bits of the other stitch as well. I'll have to take it back out again. I can't see where the centre of the stitch is, that's it. So as I'm looking over my phone, it's a little bit awkward to, if I take my eyes off the phone, my hand tends to move down like that and I don't realise it. Now I picked up the centre of that other stitch. Now there's still a hole there which I don't like, so I'm going to take that stitch out and I'm going to pick up the stitch below that. And then carry on just picking up stitches where if you pick up a stitch anywhere and it looks like it's going to make a big hole, go to the stitch below, and that sort of stops you from getting that big hole. I'm not sure how many stitches I'm picking up here because I haven't worked it out. I'm just going to pick them up as I go along and then count them afterwards. And then when I do the other side, I have to make sure I have the same amount of stitches. Now there, as you can see there, there's going to be a hole there where I pick that stitch up, so I'll go through that stitch there. And there's another hole there you can see, so I am bypassing that. You do get some small type holes sometimes, but that can't be helped. I'm almost coming up to the back stitches now. I have to pull that stitch tight around there so I can see. Those are the stitches, that's for the back of the neck there. So I have one more stitch to pick up here. That was where I stitched the shoulders. And that's how I picked up my stitches around there. And I picked up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. I picked up 31 stitches. That's a little bit more than what I like. So when I do start knitting the rows, I'm just going to do garter stitch. I would probably knit a couple of stitches together here and there to bring it tighter. And I'm going to pick up the stitches for the back of the neck. Thread that a little bit. I think I have about 35 stitches here on the back. Some of them are facing the wrong way because I lost a few stitches and had to pick them up one time. So that's the stitches for the back of the neck. And I'm going to pick 31 up down the other side. Now this is a little bit daunting because I have to just pick them up as I go and work out and hope that I get 31 stitches. So I'll be counting them as I go. I'm picking up the first stitch where I joined the shoulders together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 20 there, and I know I have 20, I'll be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, be 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I'm going to have maybe 1 or 2 stitches more than I need. So I'll have to make a little slightly bigger space. 2, and I'm picking up the cast off stitches on the edge now. Right, I'm not sure how many I had there now. I'll have to count from the... I'm not sure where the stitches ended for the shoulder. There only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30, 31. So I managed 31 on there, but I did have to make a little bit bigger space between 1 or 2 stitches to get them, because you have to be the same on both sides. And I need my other needle now. Now I'm going to knit the first row, and I'm going to knit so that you get like a garter ridge along the outside there. And that garter ridge, if you have any holes anywhere, it helps to hide them. I'll show you when I knit that. And it sort of separates the neck from the rest of the cardigan. So you always knit that first row. I'll show when I've done a few stitches and do what I mean. As you can see what I mean about a garter edge on the right side of the cardigan. And there you can see what I mean about the garter edge, and that's the garter edge around the front, and those little bumps all the way around there do help to hide. If you do have any holes, small holes, they do help to hide them so they don't look so bad. Sometimes you can't avoid holes, Jean, it's just the way the knitting is. But if you have anywhere with any holes, try to go the stitch below, on the row below when you're picking up the stitches. You can see there how that bit garter there tidies up the edge. And now I'm going to knit a few more rows and I will show you what it looks like when it's finished. So that is how my neckline looks, and you can see there are no big holes that I can see around there. And when I cast off, you'll notice it looks slightly different. I always cast off with this type of garter stitch with a knit one, purl one. You can see that it gives a little bit more give. Where you cast off knitting, I always find it's too tight. So that way you get a little bit give, and it gives you just a little bit extra to the edge, and there was only one place where, as you can see, there is a hole there. That was where I picked up the stitch between the sides and the back of the neck. So what I will do with that, if it's possible, you see your loop here, that's the loop that's stretched. Just pick it up from there and pull it in, go up there, and just keep working along the row like that. I picked up 2 stitches there instead of 1. And just keep working along until that stitch tightens up a little bit. You might not be able to do it much, but just enough to close up that hole at the and as you go further along, you can let it go a little bit looser. I haven't pulled that tight there yet. There, and as you can see, it's closed up that hole a little bit. It's not as bad as it was. So the next thing I have to do now is I'm going to pick up the stitches for the bands, the front bands. And usually when I pick up stitches, this pattern here, I'll go down a bit so you can see more. When you go down a bit, when you pick up the stitches, this has more rows than normal because of this stitch here, because this is a picking up the stitch below. I normally pick up, when I pick up the stitches for a band, I normally start picking up, and I usually pick up 3 stitches and miss a 4th one. The other rows, you like 3 rows, you're picking the stitches up on 3 rows, and I miss a row. But as this one has more rows to it, this pattern, I'm only going to pick up 2 stitches and miss a 1, and 2 stitches and miss a 1. And you have to try to make sure that your stitches are even on each side, so you have exactly the same amount on one side as the other. And then when you come to put the buttons on, you can match these things here where the pattern is. You can match the patterns. And I hope that was helpful, especially to Jean. So I'm now going to pick up the bands for this now. So give a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more anytime. So bye for now.